Who knew that spending time in a sauna could actually help you detoxify and have a lighter period? Maybe you're not sleeping properly, maybe you're getting headaches, maybe your periods are heavy, maybe you got ovulation pain, maybe there's PMS, maybe there's hair loss, maybe there's digestive issues, whatever they are, you feel better, you feel good. It's these little 1%ers that can really make a massive difference to your overall health and well-being. I have to say I haven't always loved saunas, and it's a little bit of a commitment. It's hot. It's a bit like you get to the 15-20 minute mark and you're like, can I keep doing this? Ever since getting my Nook sauna, I am very happy to not have to use the gym sauna. But there's nothing wrong with the gym sauna if that's where you're starting out. And if that's what you presented with as your best option right now, then knock yourself out in the gym sauna, because that was what I was doing until I realized that there were major benefits and it was something that I wanted to actually have personally. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. Science tells us, finally, something that we've been doing for eons, that it is so amazing for so many things, including detoxification, energy, sleep, hormones, mental health. There's so many benefits. So let's start to talk about that. I think straight out of the gate, people want to know what the difference is between a traditional sauna and an infrared sauna. And it's such a great question. And I didn't really know the difference either. Traditional saunas, like a Finnish sauna, they heat the air around you and the temperatures can reach up to 100 degrees Celsius. That's pretty freaking hot, guys. And you sweat because your body obviously is working to cool itself. They're really good, but they're often less accessible. As opposed to an infrared sauna, they heat you, not just the air. And this allows for a more tolerable experience with lower temperatures, somewhere up to around 60. And that has deeper penetration to your tissues, and it promotes cellular health, detoxification, and the most important thing is mitochondrial support. Now, what is mitochondria, you might ask? The mitochondria are the battery of your cells, and we want to absolutely do everything we can to support your mitochondria, because that's really the nitty-gritty of how we thrive. We really want to look at this on a macro and a micro level of outside in and all the benefits that it has. But if it's the only thing you learned today and that's a new word for you, mitochondria, we've done something right. It's very important that we understand that we want to maximize mitochondrial function. You might ask what the difference is between then a near infrared and far infrared. Now, you might have seen me talk about infrared lights and an infrared light panel, and they both have absolute value, but they also have a right place to be used. Far infrared, that is what we're talking about. I just mentioned that penetrates into the tissues, supports detoxification, circulation, and relaxation. Near infrared, that's the red light that you see, is more about collagen production, skin health, wound healing. The light is quite good for your brain as well. It's more like red light therapy. Often you can find saunas that have them combined. Now, my sauna is a far infrared sauna. You don't necessarily want red light in the sauna because it does two different things. Sweating and trying to heal your skin at the same time is just not the vibe. So it's not that you shouldn't do red light. You should, but you just don't need to do it in your sauna. And the far infrared is more about that cellular support, that detoxification, that turnover, and also will help you relax and sleep better because of that relaxation benefits that it has. So where should you do a red light? You can do it, like I said, for your skin health, for wound healing. I did a lot when I was dealing with my neurofibromas on my face. I would sit under the red light, but it's not heat therapy. It's very, very different. I often sit in front of my red light in the morning, especially in winter, can be really great, but it's also really good to do after a workout for your muscles as well for recovery. But you don't want to use it inside the sauna. The heat can reduce the efficacy of the red light panels, and it can be confusing for your body. It can somewhat interfere with the process. So do them separately. Do both if you can, but definitely do the sauna. We're talking about saunas today, not so much about the red light. But that's hopefully going to put that confusion of red light, far light, near infrared, all of the options. If that's all you hear right now is you don't want to do them together, red light therapy and your sauna, then we're good. If you decide to start using the sauna regularly, you might wonder, okay, well, you've said to me, okay, that's great, Nat. It's going to help with detoxification. What does that even really mean? I mean, you know that you want to get rid of waste of the body. But one of the best things for me and patients is regulating and detoxifying hormones is totally where it's at. And it's the world that we live in. It's the chemicals and toxins that we're exposed to. It's the air, the water. It's all of the things that are an external influence that are driving our internal mechanisms, especially our hormones, a little bit crazy and driving our hormones in a direction they're not supposed to go. It absolutely helps to eliminate excess hormones, but it does more than that. It also indirectly supports your thyroid and it can help reduce cortisol. Now, the reason that that's also important is because cortisol will absolutely mess up your sex hormones. So your stress hormones will always win in an argument. They'll always win. And your sex hormones are what is depleted as a result of that. Also, sex hormones, specifically progesterone, can be used to make cortisol. So if you're highly stressed and your body is borrowing from progesterone, that's not great either, because that's going to mean that you become more estrogen dominant, or there's more estrogen proportionately to progesterone. So we don't want that to happen. Obviously, the detoxification benefits, as we've sort of spoken about, but the other thing that the sauna helps is it helps to mobilize fat and toxins like BPAs and heavy metals that also mess with hormones and a range of other things. It helps to support liver detoxification, which again helps to regulate your sex hormones. Really important for this estrogen clearing that I keep talking about. It's probably, I would say, 90% of patients are estrogen dominant. It's a real problem. How do you know if you're estrogen dominant? You have symptoms of heavy bleeding, PMS, ovulation pain, potentially period pain, insomnia, weight gain, anxiety. There's a lot of symptoms associated with that, and it's where a lot of people get it wrong, because these symptoms we generally mask by using things like birth control or suppressing the symptoms, when they're actually, the symptoms are signs, they're messages to tell us, there's too much estrogen. Who knew that spending time in a sauna could actually help you potentially to detoxify and have a lighter period? And we're treating the root of the problem. This is really where we need to be looking when it comes to our health. Your sauna also helps with metabolic health. It mimics a mild cardio workout and supports insulin sensitivity. Now, insulin, I would say so many women with hormone issues have become insulin resistant. And what that means is your cells aren't actually opening and taking that in. So this can also present with a range of hormonal presentations. For the woman that has PCOS, this is particularly important to listen to, because regulating your insulin is actually going to help you to treat the core of your PCOS as well. One of the mechanisms in treating it anyway. And finally, sleep and mood. So your sauna helps to boost serotonin and GABA, and that makes it easier to feel less stressed, a little bit more easy breezy, sleep better, and feel more grounded. The next question that people were asking me is, Nat, how long should I stay in there? I get to the 45-minute mark and I'm like, 45 minutes? Who's doing 45 minutes? That sounds painful. I would absolutely encourage you to start slow. You're going to start with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, several times a week, and see if you can work your way up to 20 to 30 minutes, as much as you can tolerate, 6 times a week, 5 times a week. I will absolutely admit that I align my sauna days up with hair washing days. I can't help it because it's sweaty, and so I've washed my hair. I will not be having a sauna today. But truly, there's not really a limit, but start gently and work your way up. Women can be more sensitive to heat around ovulation and in the luteal phase. So you might find that certain parts of the cycle, you're either more drawn to it or you're just less able to tolerate the heat. This is where more isn't always better. So listen to what your body is telling you and tune into how you feel. You might go, okay, I can do 20 minutes in my follicular phase. So that's from my period to when I ovulate. But once I ovulate, then I can only do 10. That's fine. Or you might not even think about it and feel like it. Try and get in there every week if you can, and try and get in there several times a week, and then adjust the time rather than the frequency of how often you're going. Another really great question I get asked is, should I wipe the sweat off during my sauna? And yes, you do want to absolutely wipe off the sweat with a towel. The sweat helps to carry the toxins out of the body. Otherwise, if you just leave that there and you walk out of the sauna and get on with your day, we're not doing this, guys. It's gross. It just reabsorbs it through the skin. I know it's only sweat, but let me just tell you, this is full transparency, gross story, but I had a sauna on Monday, completely forgot about my clothes in my bag. This morning I went to take them out. Oh my heavens, that smell is awful. And it's not a BO smell. It's not body odor. It's sticky sweat smell. You don't want to leave that on your body. You want to wash it off. So wipe it off. I actually have the practice of when I start to break a sweat in the sauna, and that normally takes at least 10 minutes. And I do have the sauna on the top heat, which is around 64 degrees. It'll take me 10 to 12 minutes to break a sweat. And I'm really comfortable for those 10 to 12 minutes. But then it gets to about the 15-minute mark and I start to count down the minutes to 20 minutes. I'm like, right, I'm going to wipe off my sweat. I'm going to sit again. I'll wipe it off again. And then just before I get out, I do it one more time and then I come straight home and shower. But yes, it is important that you are wiping off the sweat. Another question that we have here is, what should I do after a sauna session? Should I shower or should I cold plunge? Always shower. I don't care what else you do afterwards, but shower. You know, I'm not a mad fan of cold plunging. I have my reasons. If you really want to talk about that, women don't need to do icy cold temperatures. Around 15 degrees, I believe, is enough to get the benefits. Chinese medicine says no. I hate it. My body doesn't like it, but yours might. And if it does, then that's great. You can absolutely go ahead and knock yourself out. So definitely shower immediately. Try and use low tox products because obviously your pores are open, but you should be doing that at any time because your skin absorbs 80% of what you put on it. So if you're sweating out toxins but then putting on perfumes, body washes, things that are not clean or low tox, then that's kind of counterproductive. You're just sweating it out and then putting it back in again. And a cooler shower, you might like to take a cooler shower just to help to regulate and cool things down. What about hydration and electrolytes, you might ask? Always take some type of hydration into the sauna with you so that you can hydrate whilst you're in there. I try and actually drink a litre of water whilst I'm in there. It's really important that you do this because you are losing magnesium, you're losing potassium, you're losing sodium. So I like to use a great electrolyte mix to make sure that I am taking good care of myself. And because I can also tend to have low blood pressure and feel a bit lightheaded. So I like to do this as well. Although I don't tend to feel lightheaded in the sauna. That has never happened, but I feel like that at other times. So definitely want to be drinking filtered water. Electrolytes are great, or some salt in your water whilst you're in the sauna. You don't need to worry about it being too fancy. Like truly, if you want to use salt, that's fine. Another great addition could be some MSM to add as well, just for that replenishment of minerals as well. Now, this is another great question that I have been asked many, many, many times. Should I be concerned about EMFs or toxins in saunas? 100% absolutely yes. Not all saunas are created equal. We're looking for low EMFs because obviously high EMFs, actually I should say electromagnetic field, can absolutely disrupt your nervous system, and obviously that has a flow-on effect as well. We really don't want to be putting ourselves in a position where we're exposed to high EMFs. So the other thing too is you want also no VOCs, that's volatile organic compounds. So glues, plastics, treated woods that will off-gas chemicals when they're heated. You want to try and look for something that is low EMF, VOC free, and built from untreated natural wood. And then you are putting yourself in the healthiest type of sauna. Now for me, like I said, I have really come to love the sauna. I love how I feel after I do a sauna. Some people will ask questions like, how do you know it's working? Well, you feel better. You feel good. Like there's no marker really, but you need to really look at all of your symptoms or signs or signals across what you see over a month. Really reassess. It's good to do a bit of a recce and like list the symptoms that you are feeling. Make some additions and don't do everything all at once. But let's say you list down all of your signs that your body is telling you at the moment. Maybe you're not sleeping properly. Maybe you're getting headaches. Maybe your periods are heavy. Maybe you got ovulation pain. Maybe there's PMS. Maybe there's headaches. Maybe there's hair loss. Maybe there's digestive issues. Whatever they are, list them down. Do a month in the sauna, not straight. You're not going to be in the sauna for a month 4 times a week, 3 times a week, no more than 20 minutes. And reassess and see. It's these little 1%ers that can really make a massive difference to your overall health and well-being. So it's not like a bright shining light goes off. Although for me, I can definitely say the days that I do have a sauna, I sleep 1,000 times better that night. And then that has a flow-on effect to everything. Hopefully that answers a lot of your questions. I think that's everything here. But if you are feeling tired, burnt out, moody, getting in a sauna might just be the missing secret for you. And make sure that you're doing it smartly. With all the little things that we've mentioned here, none of these things are hard. Staying hydrated, not hard. Wiping yourself off, not hard. 20 minutes, not too hard. But I actually am obsessed with my sauna, and I really am excited for you to explore the benefits of you using heat therapy like saunas and letting me know how that goes, because I'm always absolutely open to your feedback. In fact, I want to hear how that goes for you. Thank you for listening to this episode today. I, of course, as always, appreciate your reviews and your ratings ratings. It makes me extremely happy. I do a dance when I see a new rating and review. So thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.